Hello! Welcome to what should hopefully end up becoming the first in a new semi-mini series. The first in a new series of, I don't even know what to call them, like after episode thoughts or whatever, you know. So yeah, by now it should have been a couple of days since the first episode of the new series of Doctor Who aired, and I think now's a good time to do a little video where I just say what I thought of it. I think I'll do this as a regular thing now after every episode's come out. I'll give it a couple of days and then upload a video where I say what I'm about to say. Let's see how it goes, shall we? So yeah, where do we start? Series 1, not Series 1, bugger. It's got 1 in it, but it's not Series 1. Series 11, Episode 1. The Woman That Fell to Earth, or The Woman Who Fell to Earth, I think it is. Yes, The Woman Who Fell to Earth. Now, of course, the thing everyone is complaining about. Where are the opening titles? Yeah, I was kind of bummed out that there wasn't any opening titles in this episode. We had to wait until the end for the closing credits to actually hear the theme tune, and even then it's only the closing variation, but it's a bloody great theme tune. It's like a modernised version of the 60s/70s theme, and I bloody love that. So, thumbs up. And hopefully episode 2 we actually get to see the opening theme and opening titles this time. Hopefully the TARDIS as well will pop up near the end of episode 2, because we haven't seen that yet. Especially not the interior, because we don't have a clue what that's going to look like, so that should be interesting. And, oh yeah, the Doctor's a woman now, I don't know if you've noticed. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting, something they haven't done before. Okay, I like how the episode sort of started showing the companions more than the Doctor, it's said, because it shows, you know, in recent years definitely it's been mostly about the Doctor. I know between 2014 and 2015 it was more about Clara, but we won't talk about that. Starting out with the companions rather than focusing on the Doctor straight away, that's quite nice, trying to develop them more so we actually give a shit about them over the course of the next 10 or 11 episodes at least. If you include the Christmas special, whatever's going to happen there. Of course the character of Ryan has dyspraxia. I'm not really too familiar with it, but as far as I can tell it's something that affects your, I suppose, motor skills, I suppose. I'll have to look it up later, but I'm not familiar with it. But so I'm probably not very qualified to comment on this, but I feel like I've seen other people that know more about this saying that they handled it pretty well in the episode, so I suppose, yeah, they did that well. I'm probably not really the best person to ask regarding those matters, so I'll leave it at that. We'll read a bit of that later as well. Oh yeah, we got Bradley Walsh doing Graham, and we got his wife Grace. Didn't expect Grace to die at the end. Although, she has been listed as a recurring character, I think, hasn't she? So, I know it's kind of a Moffat thing by now, but I wouldn't put it past her for her to make a return later on in the series, perhaps, in some shape or form. If she does stay dead, then that's fine as well. That'll be a big departure from Moffat's bringing Rory back about 6 times in the course of 4 episodes, or having Clara. Yeah, we won't talk about that. What happened there? Moving on. I feel like Ryan and Graham probably got the better part of the character development in terms of this episode. Yaz was kind of pushed off to the side in that regard, so hopefully in episode 2 it would be nice to have a bit more character development from her, and then we've got all 3 of the main companions on the same sort of level in terms of character development, and we can hopefully then get on with the plots without having to worry about it anymore. Also, I've got to point out the ending of this episode, whether you will end up in space at the end. That reminded me a lot of the ending of Genesis of the Daleks, where the Doctor, the 4th Doctor, and Harry and Sarah are using the time ring, and they end up tumbling around through space and whatnot at the end. That reminded me of that. Can't see how they're going to get out of that unless a ship comes along a few seconds later and picks them up or whatever. I don't know. It's Doctor Who. They've done a lot of weird stuff, and I've listened to Scherzo, so I know. I really do know that it's a weird show. Might as well just talk about the new Doctor for a bit, because otherwise it's... I don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, new Doctor. Yeah, love her, she's great. Didn't really expect anything less. I feel... I mean, give it a couple more episodes for her to develop into her proper personality, or whatever, I suppose. In terms of episode 1 so far, I feel like she's quite a mix between Tom Baker and Matt Smith's Doctors. She's quite a human feeling Doctor as well, so quite Peter Davison / David Tennant like in that regard. So in terms of her human side, it's quite like a Davison Tennant scenario, but in terms of her being the Doctor, it's quite a Tom Baker / Matt Smith scenario. Does that make sense? I hope it did. I really love her coat for some reason. I don't know what it is, I just love the new Doctor's coat. Yeah, anyway. I'll probably give it another couple episodes or so before I start talking more in depth about the new Doctor, because I want to give her a chance to sort of get used to the role, and I think give her a couple more episodes then I can start talking properly about her. But so far this is looking really promising. Feels pretty damn different from anything we've had in the last few recent years, but that's what Doctor is about, so let's just go with it. Main villain. Yeah, main villain, see how I can pronounce his name. It's not Tim Shaw, that was the Doctor's joking nickname for him. It's like Stim Star or something like that. Stim Shaw. I was called him Stim Star. The main villain, Stim Sar, really cold ice man with teeth on his face. Now, first off, I'll just start by saying that there is quite obviously a lot of inspiration from the first Predator film in this main villain. You know, a warrior alien who's sent to Earth to hunt people and gather trophies made from bits of those people. That is quite obviously Predator inspired, and I quite like that because I like Predator and I like Doctor Who, so it's a win-win, pretty much. But yeah, it's different enough for it to be its own thing, so that's good. Yeah, I did make a sort of connection in my brain with, you know, the Stimsar, what's his name? That's the one. With Stimsar, the Stenza as a species being able to like live in freezing cold temperatures and killing people with ice cold touches. That did remind me a lot of Kane from the 7th Doctor's early episode Dragonfire. I don't think there's any actual connection though. I don't know, there might be. They might make a connection to that in the future, or in like some obscure comic or something. You know, you never know. The Paramians from Dragonfire might be related to the Stenza. You never know. Could happen. It wasn't anything super duper special as such. I mean, the whole premise of the episode was just getting to know the characters, the new Doctor, and then saving like one guy from this alien warrior guy. I'm probably going to say guy quite a bit in this episode. Video. Bugger. But yeah, in terms of first episode, it's no like massive end of the world, end of the universe scenario like you get with some of the more modern stories. I quite like that. It's more down to earth, just the Doctor saving one guy, doing what he / she does best, just saving people and doing stuff. You don't need to have a massive end of the universe scenario to introduce a Doctor. See, I like how they've downplayed it a bit. They haven't made it too whacked out, bombastic, blown up and over the top, the first episode. And in terms of first episode villains, I think this Stimsar Stenza... Try saying that when you're drunk. I think this Stimsar Stenza guy is about as good as you could have hoped for a first time one-off, hopefully one-off, low-key villain, just to get us going with this new series and the new Doctor. And what else was there? In terms of side villains, or should we say like a tool of the main villain, we have that gathering coil thing. That was quite an interesting concept. It reminded me a lot of the Ouroboros enemies from Resident Evil 5 actually, just with some added electricity and stuff. I think it was all the black tentacles that kind of made the connection for me. Yeah, nothing amazingly special about the gathering coil creature other than it just being a cheating device of the Stenza guy. So, yeah. Although that opening scene on the train was quite eerie. That was like a bloody horror film, that was, where it came through and whatnot. And then we just had the Doctor dropping in like, sorry, half an hour ago I was alright, Ed Scotsman. What's this? Boom! Good man! Biology. And just getting straight into it after that point, pretty much. In terms of an episode itself, it started off pretty strongly, I'd say. And ended quite strongly as well. It was fairly consistent throughout, but I know Who Addicts review have said this, and I think a few other people have this opinion as well, but I feel this episode did kind of dip a bit in the middle and got a bit dragged a bit. It did Draconians. Draconians returning confirmed, guys. Yeah, I feel like it did drag a bit in the middle, but sort of picked up again when we got to the last, like, 15-20 odd minutes or so. Yeah, all in all, probably not the best episode of all time, but in terms of the first episode for a new series under a new showrunner in a new era of Doctor Who, with a new Doctor, who is also the first female Doctor, new music composer, new visual effects department, new camera equipment, new goddamn everything. In terms of it being the first in a new era, it's about as good as you'd hope for, I'd say. I'm not going to give episodes like scores or anything, because I don't think I can really do that in these videos. It's not really something I would do. But in terms of it being an episode, I thought it was pretty good. Not the best episode ever, but hopefully they'll have some pretty good ones coming on later on as well. Later on down the line, we got the first alien planet setting coming up in the next episode with the Ghost Monument. We hopefully see the new Doctor properly in action from now on. Hopefully she's settled into it now and we can just enjoy the next 9 episodes plus the Christmas special without too much of a hitch. A Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock. So all in all, I enjoyed The Woman Who Fell to Earth. Could have been slightly better in terms of the middle dragging on a bit, but apart from that, if I was going to give it a score, it would probably be above 7.5, probably 8, possibly even 9. But I'm not really going to give them scores in this. Anyway, that was my random thoughts on the first episode of the new series of Doctor Who a couple of days after it aired. So if you enjoyed the video, then please leave a like. If you like Doctor Who, then please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I expect tomorrow I will be uploading the second episode in my new Doctor Who information series titled Whoniverse Database, so if you want to go check that out, then please feel free to do so. Maybe check out the first one as well, it's only like 6 minutes long. And whatever else I'll be doing on the channel. So yeah, I think that's all I've got, and I'll see you in the next video probably tomorrow. So farewell my lovelies, I love Yorkshire pudding. You can still see my arm, can't you? Damn it.